So next we're going to plan out our first initial, we're going to plan out the first part to our heart bounce animation. So what I want to do here is I'm going to go to layer and create a new layer. I'm going to tap rename, and I'm going to call this timing chart, which is used in animation to plan out the flow of our animation. So to plan that out, I'm going to go to brush tool, make sure I'm on 6B, and then I picked a gray. So a timing chart is just a guide for how we want our animation to flow. So I'm going to draw a straight line like this, just for me to visualize the fact that this heart is going to fall from top to bottom, my first starting position and last. And these are going to be our key poses. So I'm going to write 1 because I want to start on the first frame, and I'm going to be ending up around the 11th frame. And the reason is I'm using what's called the odd rule. For every 3 frames, 1, 2, 3 drawings, I'm changing the drawing. So with the odd rule, because we are animating 12 frames per second, the last drawing will be landing on the ground around frame 11. So to help me see this guide all along my animation, I'm going to jump to frame 12, make sure my timing chart is selected, and tap extend. Tap my first drawing, copy, frame 11, paste. So we have one more problem. We're showing each drawing only for 1 frame, which is a very quick animation. We're going to animate on what's called 2, so the picture is going to stay on the screen for about 2 frames. To do this, I am now selecting the one empty spot next to my first drawing and tapping extend, and then frame 11 doing the same. So now my drawings are showing for 2 frames before changing. The next thing is I want to position my heart where it should be on the first frame or for the first drawing. So I'm going to tap and drag this to the very top, somewhere around there. It could be higher. Oops. And now, as you may have noticed, there's some additional color happening on my screen, but that's because I have onion skin enabled. So if I press and hold onion skin, it allows me to see how many drawings in the future I want to see and how many drawings prior do I want to see. So it's a great tool for planning out animations as well. So the light green heart showing me where the heart lands and where my heart starts. So now I just want to hide my sketch layer so I'm only seeing my current animation. So now that we've planned out our first and 11th drawing, how do we know where things are going to be in the rest of our animation? I'm on the heart layer, make sure you're on the timing chart layer. We're going to draw a position about halfway between the first and 11th drawing. So what this does is we're picking a halfway point. We're making a guess on how fast this heart is actually falling to the ground. Instead of figuring it out math-wise, that's why the odd rule helps us. We get pretty close. So 11 doesn't really divide half very easily. Around the 7th drawing or 7th frame, where our heart should be at the midpoint. So back to the heart layer, tap and paste, and make sure it is 2 drawings. And now I'm going to move it up to about halfway between the first and the 11th drawing. So now when I play my animation, we do have big gaps. However, if I tap and drag this over, just to see the motion a little quicker, it looks like this. So it does have good motion. It's linear motion. So now I'm going to undo to bring those back to where they belong. We're going to use what's called ease out. And what that means is we need a few drawings close together just to slow down the heart before it makes a quick jump. And to plan that out, we're going to use halves again. And this should be our 5th drawing. Tap, select the heart, go around frame 5, and paste. Drag it down about halfway between the first and the seventh drawing, somewhere around there. So even now when I play it, you can see how the heart slowly moves. Just has a bit of a slow motion before it makes a big jump to the ground. We're going to do one more right here. 3. Back to the heart. Paste, and now move that halfway between frame 1 and frame 3. So what we've done here is we've created our first set of motion here between 1 and 3. So we have that's a key, in between, key. And then I have a bigger going here and here, going key. This is the breakdown, and then a key again. We can always wrap that in parentheses. So now we have our ease out. That's looking a lot better. So by creating those first 3 drawings and putting them closer together, we get a bit of a slow motion before it makes a big jump to the ground, which gives the illusion of the heart moving very quickly. And there we go. Now that we've created our first part of our animation, we're ready to look at the next step, making the heart jump back up.